while suicide,
poverty,
domestic violence,
and other dysfunctions seek to destroy and separate,
we choose to tangata, to stand tall.
stand together.
regardless of our backgrounds or belief system.
We as the people of New Zealand,
choose to stand for our people.
to bring hope.
To bring the solution,
We say you are valued, you are loved.
you matter.
We stand because we care.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome to Open Up Bro tonight. Here we are live on our Facebook, Man Up New Zealand. Appreciate you taking the time in your busy lifestyle, but at the comforts of your home possibly, with your device and not having to go off to some meeting tonight, but just sit there and we'll bring the sort of topic to you tonight. Based on the successful series we did, or episode we did last Wednesday, methamphetamine, P, crack, the devil's candy. We really opened that up, and we just needed to take another opportunity to present another episode tonight around that same issue that we are facing as a nation, as a people, and as families. And so we're going to talk about that tonight. We've got a very good, strong panel again. One of the differences tonight is that we've actually pre-interviewed two ladies to get the woman's perspective and the woman's experience with our methamphetamine and the destruction it causes to our families. So we've really opened it up tonight, not just keeping it exclusively to men in the sense of our experiences, but we've also gone to visit two women particularly that are prepared and have opened up about their experience. So please stay tuned, and right now is an opportunity to share this post now. We're going to open some things up. We're going to talk about some things. We don't confess to be experts. We don't confess to have PhDs and diplomas and all sorts of things, but we are men of experiences. We are men that have had family members that have been on methamphetamine. My panel tonight, some of them have struggled with the addiction of methamphetamine and understanding how to break through. I believe the theme tonight is I put it to you, is war. That's right, war against something that is destroying our families, to stand up against it. And that sometimes is going to be in the shape or form of you confronting it, you yourself using it. Now, well, you're going to have to come to a place now where you're going to have to ask yourself, how long am I going to do this to myself? How long am I going to be putting this through to my families? How long is it going to take for me to see the light? And maybe others that are listening, you are family members supporting people that are going through addictions, especially around methamphetamine, and the hardship that causes to you as a family. That's very important. So we're going to go through and look at that as well. Yeah. What we're going to do right now is we're going to cue an AV, and we'll come back and have our first panel discussion. Check this out.
Okay. Kia ora, my name's Frida Manahi. I'm the wife of Kopu. We've been married for 32 years. We have one daughter, she's 28. I can recall my experience was in 2005 when Tuko got out from doing an 8-year leg in jail. I just saw the signs there because I had seen it previously in my in one of my other members, family members, and just the trouble that we've been having in the relationship, our relationship. I dealt with it on my own. I was embarrassed with what he was doing, ashamed, hurt, angry, betrayed, lost. He was like my best friend, and I lost him to P. I really believed I was the love of his life, and I was loyal to him and committed to him. And 2005 he got out from a 8-year lag, as I said, and he made these promises to me and he broke them. He never ever openly told me that he was on it. I had to read the signs, and so I he was just doing random acts, like me just standing at the bench and then him headbutting me, and I tried to hide all of that from my daughter, so she couldn't see what was happening with her father, because all she ever knew was her father from jail. She didn't see the man that he was when he came out, and so I wanted to show her a better man, but that creeped into our family, and I really didn't know how to handle it. I ended up going to a friend and asking a friend, what's this P about, and so her and I researched and had a look and said, yeah, he's got the symptoms. Yeah, and it broke my heart really, because by then we were together for, I think it was our 25th anniversary. We had our girl when he was in jail, so she spent the first 8 years of her life in jail. So I had high expectations of him when he was getting out, and it just shattered. I never ever saw the P. I never ever saw him. I just saw the reaction that it done and his attitude. And I saw I actually saw our relationship breaking down and him losing interest in me. And I lost him to P. And I didn't have a husband, and my daughter didn't have a father. And so that led me to become the mother and father. I didn't, no way was I going to my family. My family hated him already for the role model that he was portraying as a husband and as a father. And so there was really nobody I could turn to. So that's what P basically done for me and my family. It destroyed us really. My husband was holding a lot of hurt, a lot of anger, a lot of pain of his childhood, and I could see where our destiny, our future was heading to. It was to a road of destruction, and it basically was there at that time in 2009. He used to feed me with drugs, with not P, but with weed and money and all the goodies. And because I was a solo mum, and I needed to bring up my daughter, and on the benefit, I was taking them. But then 2009, I decided enough was enough, and I walked out. So that's what I'd done. I walked out on the marriage, in the hope that he would turn around and change and say, yeah, I want you. But he didn't. Yeah. But I knew that was a P that was doing it to him, because that's not the man that I knew then. I really believed that I saw something in him, and I wanted everyone else to see that what I saw in him, as my protector, he was my security, and I just want to show everybody that. So in 2009, I went away. I went to another place, and he committed another crime, which took him away for another, I think, 6 years. We got out in 2014. I forgot how many years, but 2014 he got out, and 2 more years he was back on it again. I never saw him in jail on his last leg till the end, when he asked me that he wanted to turn his life around, and he was going to come back to me. And I believed him again, took him back, and boom, straight back down that same road again. And a year today is when he turned his life around. A good friend of ours came to us and said there was a man up starting, and did he want to try it? Just come and have a look. She's been a friend with us from when we were in the mob, and she's with Destiny, and so she invited us over to Man Up, and that's where our journey started to begin. His life turned around. to me, I feel that he went off P instantly. I think because of the connection with Man Up that was there, the brotherhood.
Welcome back, everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about methamphetamine. So I just want to say to Frida, thank you very much for sharing your story on Open Up Bro tonight. We appreciate your honesty, your realness, and your experience that you shared with us, but also with the whānau online. Tonight we're going to start our panel discussion tonight and address this particular matter and issue that faces a lot of families, methamphetamine, the addiction of methamphetamine. You know, I just got to share a quick story, if you don't mind, guys, is that we did an episode last week, and so I just want to do a quick shout out to my younger sister. As a result of the program we did on methamphetamine last week, my sister had a real encounter of wanting to change her life, and she's been on methamphetamine and the addiction for a long time, over 10 years. And that's her and her partner, so I just want to put a shout out to my sister. Well done, sis, for having the boldness and the mana to be able to stand up to such an addiction and cast off the shame that you've had on your life, and to start a new life. And the good news is, I believe I'm marrying you guys in December, something the 1st or 2nd. Yeah, anyway, awesome. That's enough about us, but I just wanted to share that victory report, really close to my heart. Awesome. Me. Well, guys, welcome to the Open Up Bro show, and they don't look nervous, do they? So just kia ora kia, welcome aboard, and brother Eugene here, Toko of course, co-host, and my friend Campbell. Welcome aboard, fellas, and we're going to start our conversation. Look, Toko, Frida, you know, that's your wife, that's your soulmate, the one that stuck by you, bro, through those tough times, and bro, just talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, awesome. She's my queen, yeah, no doubt, and wow, faithful, loyal, you know, all above. You know, she stuck through it. When I was indulging in that drug that was destroying me and my family, she stuck through the lot. She was the Iron Woman through all that time, and because of that loyalty and that faith, is why I'm here today. Wow. Yeah.
Strong woman, eh?
Powerful.
I believe it was, you know, a first leg of jail, 8 years. And she wasn't only faithful for those 8 years, but, you know, all the challenges that came after.
Yeah. Yeah, many more after that. I served another 8 years after that. She waited that time, got married in prison. Yeah, so look at the loyalty and the faith there. Wow. And the respect's got to go back, and the only way I could do this is through actions. I've already said, oh, sorry, but it wasn't enough. I had to show some actions, and this time I had to step out.
How long took all you been clean off meth?
Been a good year now.
12 months?
Yeah, 12 months. We can say I've pretty well clean. Yeah, so I joined Man Up. This is our first birthday tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, 12 months we've been with Man Up.
And planted in the church.
Man.
Yeah. So coming up to our first birthday, yeah.
Awesome. Kia, you know, look, you've obviously, you know, when we talk about methamphetamine, we're talking about first time. Yeah. We're talking about reasons, you know, why we took methamphetamine as a first time experience.
Yep. First
time for you, explain that, and also how long did you stay on that train?
Okay, well, basically for me it was just what was happening at the time. The people I was around, they sort of influenced me on getting to know the drug really, and when they did that, it was quite easy for me to be influenced, because when I started taking the drug, it was addictive. The things that my mind were doing were, you know, just outrageous. And I couldn't really control my mindsets. The way I was thinking was different, paranoia. There was a lot of things that actually came with the drug. And me trying it for the first time, I started to get addicted. Wanted to.
How long was the addiction for?
The addiction was for 10 years.
10 years of your life.
10 years of my life, and doing that for the 10 years, it actually suppressed me. I wasn't my real self. My parents noticed the difference. The relationships I was in were broken. They always fell apart because I was on that methamphetamine. And also my kids suffered.
So you got 4 kids?
I've got 4 kids.
Over a 10-year period, obviously.
Yes.
And what effect does that addiction and that behaviour have on your children?
It has a massive effect because now they've seen broken family. You know how mum and dad were mum and dad, now they're split apart. Also the drinking as well that came in with the methamphetamine, that actually tore the family. But the effects is, you know, my children are with my parents now, and so I had to fight to try and get my children back because the system knew I was on this drug, and they
move in obviously to protect the children.
Correct. Yes.
And then you've got to prove yourself now.
That's right.
That you're fit and healthy enough to be a father again.
That's right. And I battled for 3 years.
So that's a lot of, you know, if we use words like rob, steal, kill.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the robbing aspect.
Yes.
Your kids have been robbed of a lot of time and fathering.
That's right.
And relationship with you, eh? And I'm
Yes,
not here to
they have.
burden you, but it's just reality, isn't it?
It is reality, and at the end of the day, they still love me, but that love could be more compassionate because, you know, a lot of the times when you're on that drug, you're in and out of the house. You're not stable, and you're not in that foundation where you can stay home. You always have to be out and agitated and you know, looking for the next fix and all that type of thing. So yeah.
Thank you, thanks, Kia. Brother Huge, look, your introduction, as I understand, to drugs was at an early age, mainly because of the environment. Talk to us about that, bro.
Oh shucks, yeah, I was just pretty much influenced from like the bros here, from the older bros as well, and then started smoking at a young age, 17 started. My first taste anyway. And you know, I'm just gonna be real, I was a crackhead ever since, you know, I'm 28 now, so 11 years of my life pretty much thrown in the pipe. And yeah, and now I was a happy kid, and then as I, you know, chucked my life in the pipe, I ended up, just like the bro was saying again, being agitated, paranoid, you know, in and out, you know, in with the wind and gone again, and you know, it's like you're home but the lights are off, you know, lights are on, no one's home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I thought it was fun.
Well, you know, I'd like to just open up something because you know, my friend here, Cam, you know, he's a bro, pretty sharp with the Bible and the verses, you know, give us some truth and enlightenment around what is behind, you know, driving this, you know, because you can, if we track it like this, okay, you know, I took meth, who gave it to you? You know, the guy down the road at the tinny shed, or who gave it to him, or the gangs, or who gave it to them, or someone, you know, exported or brought it on a ship, or who gave it to them, you know, and you just do this tracking, and then you have to ask yourself, what's actually behind this? This destruction, you know. Cam, I want to put that question to you. Is there a force, there's a spirit behind this?
Yeah, definitely, Elder. I think, you know, the success really of Man Up is that we recognise that there is spiritual things that are behind the problems that we have. The root cause behind everything generally has a spiritual root. So the success of what I've seen, my time as a leader, and what I've experienced over the last couple of years with Man Up is that, you know, it is successful because it's addressing the spiritual side. We believe in Wairoa that there is spirit and that every person has spirit, and that, you know, there are spirits. And so that's the real success to it, is that we're actually recognising these dysfunctions and calling them what they are, they're demons. And so the Bible actually talks a lot about that, and people say, well, drugs aren't in the Bible, but it's not actually true. So the Bible talks a lot about this thing called sorcery. I believe last week you opened it up a little bit.
Touched a little bit,
but in the Bible, it talks about sorcery, but if you look deeper in that word, it's actually comes from a Greek word, pharmakia, which is where we get our English word pharmacy. So we understand the pharmacy is the place you go to get your drugs, eh? But really what the Bible's talking about in terms of pharmakia is mind-altering substances. So
that's what Q was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. The mind is altered to a state where you're no longer in control. And so, you know, and he also said alcohol comes along with it. So we understand that there are doorways that actually lead from one thing to the next thing. And so there is a spirit behind it. The Bible calls it witchcraft. The outworking of that is in two ways really, is sorcery, which is objects. So that's drugs, pharmakia, things we can take to actually alter our state of mind or get us into a pseudo-spiritual state that's not our normal spiritual state. And there's also the bewitching using words is another side of that witchcraft thing, to manipulate and change people's minds. So yeah, it's been in the Bible for thousands of years. I know you talked about last week a little bit, Simon the sorcerer. He's a guy who had a whole city under his control through the making of potions.
Good point. You know, when we talk about, drugs taking grip, and you see all the articles in the news about, methamphetamine, the people are crazed on the stuff, it is a bit like we say, there's a bit of control, there's a bit of a bit of a curse over our country, because that's the evidence of it, the use of it, the destruction, and those doorways. Let's have a little talk about those doorways. When we talk about doorways, what are we opening our life up to? When our mind is altered, what are some of the things that our behaviours and conduct, what are we actually talking about?
Yeah, a lot to do with mood swings, anger, violence, beating, taking that on the wife, pretty well. That's especially when you're coming down of that drug. It's watch out, anyone inside, until you get their next fix to put you back up on their level. Yeah, it can be violent, and you can do some real violent things just to get that drug.
People say that they see things, and hear voices, and and other people that are straight probably think they're crazy, but that'd be quite real, wouldn't it, Cam? Open that doorway to a demonic realm of being spiritually, I guess, influenced.
Like I say, and that was primarily what it was used for, was to get into a spiritual or the spiritual realm. And so it's the same thing with us today. People don't realise it, but you are going into a spiritual realm by taking those things, and it allows things to enter into your life, and that leads to addictions and demonic possession. That's why people can't get off these things, and why counselling doesn't work, because you can't counsel a demon out. You've got to kick it out. It's the only way to get rid of it.
You've got to cast it out, and I guess people that are not familiar with those that technique, I mean, we can all validate that that's how ultimately we get set free. Okay, I just want to change it up a little bit here. Do we have a man problem in New Zealand?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Pretty much every man today, doesn't matter what you look like, you'll be in a suit, and they could own a business.
True
They're
that.
all on crack, It's just so people that stay up, for days. There's businessmen as well. They're just addicted to that drug. That drug's that's got a hold on.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter really your wage packet and what you earn and your status in society. Is that everybody has a I guess a heart problem, a brokenness maybe somewhere, or some dysfunction in their life. And if you've got nowhere to ultimately deal with it, like if it was a lump and it was under the skin, you can go to the surgeon and get that lump removed. But if you can't detect it, and but it's causing you hurt and pain and suffering. I mean, where can you go? Methamphetamine, obviously, on the market,
that's
is
right.
the drug of choice for people out there.
And just on that point, Elder, it's so easy to get now these days. It's more relevant than synthetics, and more relevant than other types of drugs and alcohol. So it's become a normal thing for people to get on it. That's what they use the terminology. Let's get on it. And everywhere, it's everywhere. And that's the problem in society, is that people don't realise.
I just want to acknowledge some of the groups out there that are doing great work with counter or battling against methamphetamine. There's a few groups we know out there, that are doing good work. Keep up the mahi, man up to tangata. We're going to keep up the good fight in regards to combating this and helping particularly men and our women break free. But in order to break free, we've obviously got to ask ourselves the question of why are we taking mind-altering stimulants? We're trying to find this euphoria, this happiness. Why is it not there? Why do we have to go outside ourselves to search for it?
I believe that it's you're trying to fill a void or fill something that needs to be filled in your life. It could be a hurt from your parents. You could have been hurt by a partner, and because for me, what used to happen to me is that if I was put down, told I was useless, I'm a useless father, I would instantly go to the drug, because that would just try and make it made me feel a bit better in myself. And I think people get used to that feeling, which is, in the end, it's quite ugly.
Right.
Where a lot of people are like, they get normalised with that type of feeling. And so, in saying that, that's sort of where I've felt things. And also going back to that question you said about what comes with methamphetamine, which is, to me, there's perversion, there's gambling, because that all comes under that same umbrella. There's alcohol, there's all types of things, prostitution. It's all linked in that ugly cycle, and it's really.
Look, to be honest, come on.
Yeah.
This is probably if you've been a support family, like a support person in a family supporting someone through drugs, there's just complete lying,
lies,
stealing.
Yep.
I mean, it has no limits, right? Come on, talk to me about this. It has no limits. If you were my dad and I saw a gold watch, I'd just take that and sell it, because my habit, my fix is more important than my relationship and my love for at that time. And there must be a battle inside a person that says, well, I don't want to do that, but I do it,
Yeah.
I've never been addicted to meth, so talk me through that.
I think the dysfunctions have always been there from childhood all the way through. And it comes through the 70s, there was trips. Coming through the 80s was weed, coming through, and working through to alcohol. All the drugs there was just eventually that someone was going to invent another drug. And it just happened to be P. And now synthetics is another one that's hitting our kids. And all it is just hinting those dysfunctions that we already have in there, that's been planted in there, and it just makes it even worse.
And it seems like that the drugs are intensifying along with the dysfunctions.
That's it.
So we see, 2, 3, 4 generations now. Maybe some of us are 4th generation in our families, and maybe we're the pace of the dysfunction now. The manifestation of the dysfunction is greater than what you've ever seen before, and so are the drugs. It just seems to be an increase, a real negative momentum, and that people are losing hope out there maybe and think we can't stop this. Or yes, we can. We can stop this, we can stop this tide, we can stop the momentum of drugs, and all the drug pushers out there that are pushing methamphetamine. I just really hope that a conviction drops on your heart, and you really start to wake up and realise what you're doing, not only to yourself but also to innocent people that obviously are just fair game. Because really, we're hitting it. We should talk about this a little bit more. Is that there's a broken heart.
Yes.
There's a lot of sorrow inside of life. There's a lot of trauma in the childhood, sexual abuse with a lot of Maori, particularly younger Maori males. No one's talking about that. It sort of was pushed away from the government. Whānaus have sort of swept it under the rug. Too embarrassed to talk about. It's an embarrassing conversation sometimes, but we've got to talk about it.
Yes.
Your situation and many situations probably have been embarrassing even now.
Yeah.
But we've got to talk about it so it doesn't become something of a keeping us enslaved. Because as long as you're taking drugs, you're a slave to an enemy. Quick story before we cut to the segment. Had one of the brothers come and visit me. He just got out of prison, and I was fortunate enough to meet him. And he just presented to me and said, look, I've got 2 opportunities. The first opportunity is I could join Man Up with you. And he said the second opportunity is that the gang is waiting to patch me up, give me a bit of a start-up kit with some cash and a bike and all this sort of stuff. And I approached it like this. I said to him, okay, all right. So here's the options you've got. You've got your family and you've got the gang. You're going to choose the patch or the family. You can't choose both, bro. And I said, that's my advice to you. You can't choose both. You've got to drop the patch and be a family man. You can't be both. Because you're going to get lured into being a slave, and you will be owned by the gang. You'll be owned by those people, and you'll always be owned. And I said to him, it's better to be less and poor and be rich with your family in terms of being a dad and a family man than to be someone's slave and pushing drugs for some other clown out there.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you very shortly, but I just want to introduce you to one of our second guests on AV tonight. Her name is Layla. It's actually Eugene's mother-in-law. So check out her story.
Powerful.
For the last 20 years, I used to smoke it in the pipe for the first 10, and the last 10 I used to inject it. When you inject it, you get an instant high. You get the full effect of the buzz, and you get it instantly. And I was all about that, you know, getting high fast. So yeah, because I don't know why I did it, because I love sleeping. Yeah, so yeah, I just did it to keep him company, really. He was in the mob for 30 years. He used to run the road chapter here in Papakura. We were married in Mount Eden Jail in 1991 when Crimson was a baby. He just started a 6-year lag, and yeah, so we decided we'd get married, and that kind of like set the format for what our life was going to be like, because I mean, who gets married in jail? You know, and it even says it on my marriage certificate, married in Mount Eden prison. I pretty much grew up with him, because I was only 16 when I got with him, so I was still a baby, you know, so I was controlled by him. Yeah, I was very loyal, very submissive, very, like, I did everything. Like, I lived for my kids. Like, that's all I wanted to do, was be a mum. I didn't even have any job desires or career, you know, ambitions. I just wanted to be a mum. Yeah, and I suppose it pretty much set the format after he passed away, that I was doing it by myself really anyway, half the years that we were together. So like, we were together 25 years, and half of them he would have spent in jail. Oh, we have 8 daughters. I have 12 grandchildren, and he only saw the first grandchild born, and then he died. And I always felt kind of brassed off the fact that we had all these kids, and here I am, like, I had to look after them by myself, and wasn't doing a very good job after he left like that, and was angry at him. Yeah, had a lot of unforgiveness there for him just dying like that. Yeah, and I spiraled out of control on meth after that, because I didn't really have to pay for it. The gang life kind of got me right away into getting free drugs, copious amounts, wherever. Yeah, so it was detrimental to me, to my family, to my grandchildren. Made everyone not trust each other. Set the format for me to start using with my kids. I just thought if they were going to do it, then come get it off me. If you're going to go do it, get it off me. And so that was I don't know, how I made myself feel better about giving it to them, you know. I didn't really understand what she went through with synthetics, and I didn't realise how bad it was until she told me, like, not even that long ago, that what they were going through. And I just thought to myself that if I don't stop, I'm going to be dead soon, and I don't want to leave that legacy for my kids to die the same way their father died. You know, that's just selfish. Yeah, so I put myself before my children. Not really the drug. The drug was just a ways and a means to not feel what I was feeling, which was the grief. But I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know what grief was. It was the first dealings ever to lose someone like that. And so, yeah, really I should have died for the amount that I was using, but I didn't, you know. I don't know why. For the moment you're high and it's all good, but you know, when you get high you've got to come down too. So that's all part of it. It was just like a cycle of events that was just, it's like clockwork, you know, like all the side effects, the whole coming down process, the whole, you know, like, yeah, it was just monotonous. And I knew I'd had enough. I just didn't know how to get out of what I was doing. Yeah, and when I learned my daughter was going to Destiny Church, I was actually really happy for her. I could see she was happy, and I thought, oh, I want that, but not how she's getting it. But I didn't know what that was, so yeah. And so when I first heard a legacy, it was through my daughters, and I got there, I was actually high, and I partook in the conversation that was going around the room. I'm thinking, wow, this is actually really cool. Like what I was hearing. I actually went to court one day, this is about 5 months ago. Toko happened to be there, and I bloomin' had jumped the train because I didn't have any money to get there, and I kind of did a runner up through the train station into the courthouse, and I was telling him, yeah, what I'd done. He's like, I'll give you a ride home after this, and I went, oh yeah, that'd be great. Sitting there, I don't know what it was. I just turned around to him. I said to him, oh, I think today's the day. I'm over this. I'm going to come. I'm going to come to church. I'm going to go to Legacy. And he was like, really? You know, yeah, really. Today's the day. Texted my daughter and told her I've made the decision that I'm finished with this life, and I want what you've got. I want to be happy. I've been clean for 5 months now. Oh, I love it. It's like, it's clarity, it's peace of mind, it's comforting. Getting to know Jesus Christ is like, wow. Legacy is, wow. I can't even say enough about it. I never ever want to stop going to Legacy. I just want to keep going to every rotation forever, because every female that comes there, they all have a different perspective on whatever subject we're covering. So you get a new experience every time. You know, I'm going to be 50 next year, and I honestly have had enough. I don't even think about it. I don't crave it. I don't, yeah. So that's what Legacy has done for me, to understand different dysfunctions and why we have them and why we do the things we do. Yeah.
Here we go, guys. We're back here live. Man up. Open up, bro. Hope you've enjoyed this discussion that we're having. Maybe it's been challenging for you to hear some of the discussions that we've been having, but nevertheless, the greatest thing that we've done tonight is actually come on set and actually open up and talk. That's what men don't do, but that's what we encourage men to do, is actually to open up, bro, and not cover it up, and not definitely don't hide it under the rug. Well, imagine this. Just imagine this. Hear this. Imagine an environment where there's no methamphetamine. Yeah. Well, I personally, and I know these men here, and a lot of other men, hundreds and thousands of other men that live in methamphetamine and free environments. Yes. We're going to talk about how we create that. I just want to, before we go to our panel, just want to challenge a few men live on down the barrel. Look, if you're a real man, you're a real man, a real father, a real husband, a real partner. You don't have any options to go gambling money on drugs, playing around with and experimenting and calling yourself an addict and being on the poverty line and asking for a handout. You are a man. You're instinctively made to tangata, to stand up. That's right. That's encouragement tonight, brothers. Yes. That we have to do it. We've got no options. To save our generations and our children, we've got to stand up. And so let's continue our conversation here, brothers. And I'm talking about a methamphetamine and a war against it, and having it eradicated out of society. Yes. People think, oh, how are you going to do that? Well, you've done it, haven't you? Yep. Have we not done it in our own personal lives? Yeah. I want you to talk about that a little bit tonight. Breaking the addiction. If we take methamphetamine out of life, that means this false happiness and this false sense of security and the Superman feeling, it's all false. You take it away, what have we got to replace it with? What are you going to replace it with? Because that's what people are probably asking. Take this drug away, what's next?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. What I replaced it with was the Holy Ghost and the Brotherhood. You know, they helped me through this journey. It was a tough journey, but you know, just like they say, the narrow road's not an easy road. You know, like this is the answer. You know, we are the answer. You know, it's got us out. You know, it's got us brothers out. And we're out here trying to, you know, get all those other addicts out of here, you know, that are still stuck. And yeah, I've got a better bag for you, you know, and it's free. You know, and it's called the Holy Ghost, you know, it's called Man Up. You know, stand up for your families, hey.
Hard
You
up.
know, and that's what we're here for.
Yes.
You don't want to
Right,
see
brother.
your generation sitting
on.
there, you know, watching you fill the glass.
Yep.
You know,
Hard
you want them to get filled, you know, in the house and the kingdom, you know.
Yep.
And that's what's worked for me and my family. Because, you know, as you see my mother-in-law, she's been, you know, stuck, blasting for 11 years. You know, and for her to come into an environment like this that was foreign, you know, now she's got a new buzz, and it's the exact same buzz. You know, it's not a down buzz just like everyone else says, you know, because they're looking from the outside in. But we're here and we are the answer. You know, we got that glass. We can fill you up with something greater and better.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, that's my answer for that one, Nana.
Yeah. A place to release.
Yeah.
Yep.
Release those burdens, a place to release that pain.
Yeah.
Because let's be
That's
honest,
right.
we're carrying it. And
Come
if we
on.
carry it, we're like a time bomb. And
Yeah.
particularly with males, we are a time bomb.
Yes.
No wonder the domestic violence is high. No wonder the prisons
Yeah.
are filled, because we're locked.
Yeah.
We're locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, Elder, it's just basically getting connected, eh? Get connected to a support group, get connected to Man Up, Legacy, hey, because we're doing things in society, and people are going to recognise, and they are recognising, and so you know, get connected to Man Up, Legacy, whatever you're going through, you know, just get connected to, for me anyway, because that's what changed my life, and if it can change my life, it can change your life. You know, end of the day. You know, I was hard out on it, but I'm not going to glorify it. Hey, end of the day, we got the solutions.
Yeah.
Man Up, Legacy, get connected. Hey, even if you have to do something different to get a different result, you know, change it. Enough is enough. You know, aren't people sick of waking up hungover, or aren't they sick of waking up drugged out?
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Well, aren't you sick of waking up poor?
Yeah,
Waking
exactly.
up poor.
No money.
Yeah.
And it's
Yep.
not just poor no food and poor no power and all that. It's a poor mentality.
That's right.
You know, that
Yep.
you just keep going on this vicious cycle, you know, of poverty.
Yeah,
Would you
and-
say, Campbell, you know, that really brings in, you know, opens those doorways you talked about earlier. You know, if you're taking drugs and you're splashing out and luxuriously on drugs, and you don't even have the income to support that type of habit for a starter,
Yeah.
then you're opening up a doorway to...
Yeah, absolutely. Addiction is going to cause poverty to come into your house, you know. And, you know, for me, in my experience with addiction, I had to be more passionate about wanting to be set free than I did about wanting to do that thing. I had to get to a place
Come on.
where, you know, that desperation took over, that I don't want to do
right.
this thing anymore.
Yeah.
You know, mine wasn't drugs, but it was something else. But I had to get to the place where I want to be free of this thing. And so I had to go after something as hard as what I went after that other thing.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yes.
So,
So,
you know, and that for me
we're
became
talking about taking away that myth and that hunger and that desire, and that, you know, you're passionate about taking this drug.
Yeah.
You've almost you got to switch, with the same intensity to go after. We've been saying it. We're going after God.
Yeah.
Because really, you know, at the end of the day, that's the only thing we have.
And replacing it for something that's positive, you know. At the end of the day, it's a negative drug. It's going to bring you down. It's going to wreck your family.
Yeah.
But replacing it with something positive, that filling that void inside your, you know, inside there, we
And
draw
that's what
that
Man Up does,
strong
guys. You know,
things.
Man Up, I was just saying, say there, you know, just Man Up is giving us an environment where we basically can let
right.
all the junk out of the trunk.
Yes.
You know, all the stuff that's been sitting there, lying there,
Yep.
the lies,
That's
the
right.
deceit,
Yep.
the unforgiveness towards
That's right.
our family and just
Yes.
people, and the hatred
Yep.
that builds with that, and then jealousy that escalates. And we are just people that want to be free at the end of the day.
That's
we want to
right.
be free.
And we have to find that power from inside, you know.
Well, you
draw,
just got to get some.
draw
You just
from
got
inside.
to get some balls, and you got to
Yeah.
you got to man up.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
right.
say that in the most positive sense,
Yes.
that you've actually got to really,
Yeah.
and Campbell says, you got to want this.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
got to hate that drug, you got to hate that habit, you got
That's
to
right.
hate laying in your bed, zombie
Yeah.
out, while your
Yeah.
kids are looking to go and play in the playground.
And you can't even get up.
Someone's got to snap out of it, eh?
Yeah,
Someone
come on.
online's got to snap out of it, so they
Yeah,
can just have a
that's
moment
right.
like, you know
Yeah,
what, to
that's
hell with
enough.
drugs.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I've got to change my life, like Layla said. She's
Yes.
at the courthouse.
Come on.
You took all at Manukau.
Yep.
You supporting our whānau down at the courthouse, and she came across you, and then she just admitted, look, I just got to change my life.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you're doing some good mahi down at the Manukau courthouse, brother.
Yeah, thanks to you. I mean, our first day at Papakura, when we first went to Papakura, and then I've never stopped since then. So you planted the seed in me to go and work there.
Well,
and,
hey, bro, I just want to give you a bit of credit. Today, we're at the gym, and two of the bros from one of our gangs, they turned up and they're going to join our Man Up. But guess who referred them? The security guards from the courthouse, not the judge or the lawyers, not the judge or the lawyers or the administration, but the security guards that Tuko has built a relationship with at the Manukau courts, doing barbecues every second day, building that rapport with our whānau.
Awesome.
You know, to let them know that there's hope. Hey, brother.
That's right. And that's where the work needs to be done, because that's where all the dysfunctional fathers are going and going out the other door to the prisons. So that's where all the sport needs to become, right there in the courts. So.
It's the old saying,
the community.
The old saying is, where would Jesus hang out, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people I know say that, and I said, well, they'll be down at the courthouse, they'll be down at the jailhouse, and they'll be down at the marketplace. They certainly will be sitting at home just waiting for the next religious service to happen. They're actually moving with what you're doing. Tuko is really a great example of Man Up. Getting on the front line and getting on with people. And they've got issues, we can see that, but did we not have issues? Did we not come from the same place? Whānau, look, I mean, we're here and we're talking open, but at the end of the day, we're saying, hey, we've come from those backgrounds too, but you don't have to live like that anymore. No, absolutely not. You don't have to live like that anymore. You can break free, break those chains, get that ball and chain off. If you're a gang member, you're a slave, get that patch off, man up, tangata, be a dad. That's the greatest, I guess that's the greatest tag you could have on your life, is be a father. What the greatest responsibilities that we can have as men, as being a dad.
Real fathers.
Being a father. And if you've got a patch on your back, or if you've got a suit on and a tie and you're arrogant and ignorant and all that sort of stuff, time to change it, man. Time to change it up. It's a game changer tonight. It's a game changer for our nation. You know, we're going to be promoting that. Hey, come on.
Enough is enough, you know. End of the day.
Enough.
Society is just, it's going down. There's murders, there's all types of things happening in society.
But for a lot of people even watching possibly, it doesn't matter if it's not affecting you, right? Suicide doesn't matter, and I'm not going to be compassionate and help people until one day I get a knock on the door from the police saying, we've had a suicide and it's one of your family members. Oh!
That's right.
No, we don't have to be moved by situations. We just need to know that we're called to do things. Man up to tangata, men of God, Christians in this nation. To tangata, rise up people, rise up. We can beat drugs, street drugs. If drugs is man-made, then we can beat it.
That's right.
If it's been designed, as you say, put together by Satan, we can beat that as well.
That's right.
Absolutely. Someone's got to say it. Otherwise we're going to sit here all defeated going, how do we beat this? I don't like that position in life, do you? No. Do you like being on the back foot and saying, well, I don't know how to beat this enemy?
That's right.
Come on, we've got to stand up to this thing and say, I know how to beat this thing.
I'm clean 1 year now. I've been clean 1 year now. And the way I had to beat it up here and then here. And first, because before I even stepped out to try and fight it, but I had to try and get it here because it was hitting me here and here. And the only way I could do that is I joined Man Up a year ago, and I've been clean ever since. Why? Because it was all about opening up, not hardening up. That's what it was all about for me.
And you got a good strong ultimatum from your wife, didn't you?
And plus that. So I had no way out, so I had to go forward. Forward to getting clean and taking care of my family. And that's what it's all about. Shout out to all the brothers that are in the same club as me out there. For those brothers that are heavily addicted with their drug P, get off it, brothers. Get off it now. Get off it and come on, take care of your families.
That's right.
Get back on track, fellas. You got to get focused. If you're on that drug, you're not focused.
That's right.
A weak man is a weak house. So brothers, step up and mana up, fellas. Mana up for your families, for your loved ones.
That's right. I just want to say to all the other organisations that are out there, we are Man Up to Tangata. We're not isolated. We're not unapproachable. As you can see, we're opening up on live television around the world.
That's right.
And other organisations out there, let's team up. Let's unite against this fight, against this demon. And let's trample this demon. Let's let the world know, and particularly let's let Aotearoa know that we are a cloud that is a white cloud, but it's not methamphetamine, it's not that foul smoke.
That's right.
It's something special that our country has. And I tell you what, we got to be able to do that all together. So I'm the director of Man Up to Tangata. If you're a part of an organisation and you need to work with us and we need to work with you, let's team up. Let's team up. Let's join forces and let's attack this thing and let's put that thing on the back foot and back on its back and then eventually cut its head off and throw the thing out of our country. We don't want methamphetamine. Just all the drug dealers, anyone pushing the drugs, we don't want methamphetamine in our country anymore. And we're going to propagate, we're going to send the message out there through all the highways and byways that we are a meth-free country. You might think it's lucrative, you might be making serious money out of it, but it's going to end in poverty. You're going to end up flat on your face because it's a dog-eat-dog game. And everybody's in it for themselves.
That's right.
You think you're winning? You're not winning. You're not winning. It's time now to man up. Be a dad, be a father. Come on, people. Come on. Mums out there, you're holding it down.
Man on the line. Man on the line.
That's it. It's time to do it now.
How bad do you really want it, eh?
How bad do you want it, New Zealand?
If you want that bag as as hard as this.
No, we want to put challenges down the barrel here. So, we're talking to the brothers now. If you're facing addiction and you're sitting in your seat right now and thinking about contemplating, the shake and the itch and you got to go through and do this, just say this prayer with me, bro. Say, God, help me. Just say, God, help me.
Come on.
And he'll help you.
That's right.
I ain't going to give you no religious prayers. I'll just tell you straight. If you're going to cry out for help, cry out to God. Cry out to God right now. Let him know that you're there and that you need help. He'll help you. And we can help, but we're nowhere near as powerful as God himself to be with you and present with you right now. Where you are. That's it. Don't be ashamed. Say, man, God, I need help. Help me, Lord. He'll come like that. And he'll enter your heart. And it can change your life. Now, we've got some questions. I believe we've got some questions from the panel tonight. No, not from the panel, from the audience to give to the panel. So we'll take those questions now if we've got them. Yep. So someone's from behind the curtain passing it to Campbell, and then Campbell's passing it to me, and I've got it in my hand. Here we go. Oh, okay. Toko and Man Up. Toko and Man Up at the courthouse in Manukau. Can you be at others around Auckland, please? Other courthouses.
Yes, anytime. Yeah, just give me the time and just ring 0800 Man Up, and they'll give you my number. And I can support anywhere in the court, or else I can get someone to be there, someone that's closer and they can be there.
What about also if people out there want to volunteer? Just if you want to volunteer to help Tuku out, like you got free time, you might be a shift worker and have the afternoon free or mornings free, you can ring 0800 Man Up and give us that information, and we'll pass it on to Tuku to coordinate through all the courts in Auckland. So we're putting help us, if you don't mind, help us achieve that goal of having more presence of Man Up in our Auckland courthouses, and probably all of our courthouses throughout New Zealand.
Throughout New Zealand, yes. Shout out to all those other Man Up units all over New Zealand. Get to your courthouses and support our people, because that's where most of the dysfunction is. Our people are and that are hurting. So get there and support them, and you'll be surprised what sort of harvest we'll get out of there.
I just want to say, Brother Toko, you're doing I've said it before, but you're doing a great job. I'm really, really proud of you, bro, because Toko's like, he's just known down there at the courthouses, the security guard checks all the lawyers and everyone else walking through, but Toko just seems to just walk through the special door.
VIP.
He's got the old favour. He's got the favour on his life, man. I tell you, just walks through the courthouse.
I like to take all the glory, but all glory to God. Without him in my life, I wouldn't be able to walk through that gate like that. If I was walking through, they'll be walking through with handcuffs on. That's no more.
You're on the good side now.
All glory to God, and going forward for Jesus. And all our work is gives all glory to him.
Oh, cool. Another. We've got 3 questions, so I'll give this one to Campbell. The question here, Campbell: we have a problem in Melbourne. How can we have Man Up here, please?
Well, first thing, ring 0800 Man Up, but I believe we've already got some things started in Melbourne.
There is a Man Up starting to develop there in Melbourne, so if you're that person listening to us, you can just basically drop a message for follow-up. We'll pick it up later on and make a connection. There is actually 2 groups looking at running in Melbourne already.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I know Melbourne's big.
If you're passionate about it, Man Up is all about men just being with other men, a brotherhood. If you feel that you've got that call that you can lead a group just to have discussion and to talk through dysfunctions, whatever you're going through.
Yep.
Well, that's really all Man Up is. So you're probably the answer to Man Up Melbourne.
Oh, cool. Well, I guess that's just sets the trend for any country around the world. We are launching Man Up Global on November the 25th. So Man Up Global, in the sense that it will be spreading Man Up right throughout Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands, right up through the rest of the world. So, hey, that's what New Zealand's doing.
Awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
Eugene, the last question, my friend. How long have you been clean from meth, and how do you feel?
Yeah, me, I've been clean for a year now, and how I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I feel awesome, you know. Yeah, I just feel over the moon, higher and greater than ever, really. Yeah, and that's just thanks to for Man Up and yeah, God himself, you know.
Awesome, bro.
He is the answer. He is the way, just like he says. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And yeah, that's my answer right there. But you know, this is the environment we're around. You know, we're about opening up.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's us.
Guys, because obviously we have family, and particularly you brothers, Toko, Kia, and Eugene. I want you to give a shout out to your family, because you know, when you're going through those addictions, it's often the family, it's definitely the children that are suffering. Yeah. They go through the hardest of hardships. So I just want you to give just an honest shout out, bro, to the whānau.
Yeah, I'll start there because that was my wife on the AV, and I just want to shout out to my wife for her loyalty, her faith. Wow, thank you, darling. You're my queen. I'm there for you now. I'm on track. I'm focused, and going forward for my daughter. What an awesome love. We've managed to bond back together, gel back together, and we're going forward. And it's just starting a rippling effect right through not only our family but the people that are staying with us. So to my family, my wife and my daughter, yeah, love yous forever.
Huge.
Yeah, I would just like to tell my family back home, in the dark side and Port Waikato Tōku, I know you're still on it, brothers. We are the way out, we are the answer. And I've never said this to Leila, but I'm proud of you, Mum. It's the first time calling her Mum.
Oh, yeah, the first time you call her Mum?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got this. Yeah, and love my family, love you, darling. Yeah, gonna have a baby, so it'll be a kingdom baby.
Yeah, brother.
Done man.
Congratulations,
Too much, brother. Oh, kia ora whānau. I'd just like to do a shout out to my kids. I've been through a lot of things, and Dad's changed now, of course, and now you're going to start seeing all the goodness that Dad's doing in his life. But also a shout out to my cousins and all the uncles and aunties, big ups to yous. Even though you go through things in your life, just get connected. That's all I can say. Hey, Man Up Legacy, get to your local church, just to make those changes, because and get support people around you, people that are positive, because enough of those negative vibes and enough of being suppressed and oppressed. It's time to rise up, do something different to get a different result, and just basically get connected. So that's me. Kia ora whānau, tū tangata.
Thank you everybody for taking the time to be with us on the set tonight. We really appreciate it. My last words is just encouragement really to our family, those that are struggling on the addictions. It's time now, to really reach out to God. It's to really ask yourself a question now of filling that void, and you can ask God for help at any time. I do encourage you, to come to church. Destiny Church has done it for me personally. It's the church that has been real for me and is able to open up my life and my future and my purpose. And I wouldn't say that to you if I didn't mean it. And to me, it's been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And my salvation is in Him. Through, as Eugene says, that joy, that peace that comes only through God and through receiving Christ in your life truly brings about peace in your heart. And all the trouble that comes in your life, you become more equipped and more empowered to deal with it. You don't need to go and run to the drug house.
That's right.
You can just you can self-medicate by praying. You can self-medicate by being with the right people, being around the right associations, and that's what's really important. Come on, New Zealand, come on. Let's really let's really take this message to heart. And as I said, whānau, if you've got whānau that are struggling with the addiction, faith, love and hope, but the greatest of these is love. Love conquers all. Love them through. And Frida was a good example of that for us tonight, through loving toko, through some of the most difficult and longest periods of loneliness. She loved her husband, and that conquered it and beat that addiction. God bless you, whānau, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Open up, bro. Man up to tangata. Now, just check this last AV out. This is dedicated to our ladies. Legacy is what we call this program. It's in relation to supporting our mums, our sisters, giving them what Man Up does for men, this does for women. Check this out. Legacy, sisterhood, empowerment.
In some point in our life, I do believe that we come across something that might have damaged us. And here is a place where you can come, really talk about it, dig deep, find out what's the root problem of it, and face those things with the support and help of sisterhood. Legacy is a place where it's supportive, it's got a great atmosphere, where we are uplifting ladies all the time to come in and really be empowered and impacted to change. Legacy is for women from all sorts of backgrounds, whether it be a horrible one from childhood, whether it be an awesome one to become better mothers, better sisters, better aunties, and just better women for their children and all those around them.
It is a program, it is 15 weeks, but you're going to come out on the other side bigger, better and brighter. So if you know of any woman that could benefit from legacy groups, make sure you give us a call on the 800 number or message us via Facebook. We'd love to have you along. Legacy is for you.